Well, today I'm going to try to make a short video um, showing how you can get elite in exploration fairly quickly. I don't normally do things like this, but I'm also going to upload a copy of this to YouTube, so it'll be online permanently. I know when I first started in Elite Dangerous, I'm not good at combat yet, and I did some of the grind where you do courier jobs and things. But once I got a Diamondback Explorer, I started wanting to try to map some stars and to get money. And that's the quickest way to for me to get to elite in anything. And I got it yesterday. And it took me just over 2.5, let's see, just before Christmas I started. So, and I didn't really start out fast. Once I learned about a website that people use it as a tool to generate a list of what systems to go and what planet to scan that has the most value, I stopped wasting a lot of time. And with that in mind, for newbies that want to make money and get to elite status fairly easily, very boring sometimes, but it's very mundane jumping between systems and scanning and mapping. But you can get there pretty quick. And I'll show you how to do it. It's really simple. Let me switch the modes here a minute. There. This website, spansh.co.uk, is very useful for a lot of things. The Neutron Highway, which newbies may not know about and stuff. But if you go to this website, and on the upper left where it says Route Planners, there's an entry for Road to Riches. And here's how this is going to work. You put in you put in several variables. The first one, the first line here, excuse me, is your beginning point. When you do these mappings, you have two options. You have a starting point, and you can say, I want to return back here, so it'll go out and make a bunch of hops, plot a lot of hops for you, the stars and systems that have the unexplored planets that have some scan value, and it'll generate a list. The other option is to say you want to start point A and you want to end at point B, and it will plot things there, and you'll end up over here. Uh, I had a problem when I first started doing this. I ran out of nearby star systems to plot very quickly, and I ended up. This website doesn't remember that you've already been to these places. So if you make a list of 30 systems and then go scan all of them, close this, come back tomorrow and do it again, make a new list, and there will often be duplicates from the previous places you've been, and you can't scan them again. So what I ended up doing is I ended up starting out way out here at just some star at random and say end over here. And I'll show you how this works though. As an example, I can't pronounce this, Tiolce. This is the system that my ships are based in. But say, for example, you just wanted to return back here, and my ship has a jump range of over 26 light years. This is important. The field range is basically the range of your jump, the max range of your ship's jump capabilities. Okay. And the radius is that size of that area that it can find stars in. And keep in mind that's a radius. So if you say 100 light years, you may end up having a sphere area or an area of 200 light years. The maximum number of systems that you want it to return, say a list of 50. This next line though says use mapping value. This is either the surface scanner value or the frequency scanner value. The frequency scanners, when you can get money two ways, but the surface mapping is by far the best item. It pays way more, maybe 5, 6 times more, but it takes longer. But I usually do both. I'll hop into a system, um, scan it remotely, and then jump to it and map the surface so I get both values. But this, if this box is checked for use mapping value, then that's going to be the surface scanner map. And I don't want to map anything that's, say, less than 880,000, 900,000. Now the line down here, it says loop. I just, you know, it says that it forces you to return back to the starting system. That only works though if you don't specify a destination. Now this next one though is really important: maximum distance to arrival. You don't want to be traveling 497,000 light years to scan something. I mean, that'll take too much time. You could scan 3 other systems, 4 other systems, maybe 5 in that length of time it would take for you to cruise to that. So you want to set this to something reasonable. You know, I usually say 10,000, you know, let's say 8,000. That's just because it's where I left it off at. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it to calculate. There it is. Generate the list, assuming you're still at your origin. Your first hop would take you to HIP 30, in this case 30949. And if you notice this little symbol here to the right of it, if you click on that, this is going to be, this makes it so much faster. Let me, yeah, okay, I clicked on this. Let me go to Elite. And if you go to Galaxy Map, go to the plotter, which is the second symbol here. Click in it to get the focus there, and you'll see the cursor flashing. All you've got to do is hit Control V and plot it. Come over here onto the star, plot it. Now, since I had so many duplicates, if it had a surface map, I was very, not a surface map, but a planetary system map. I was always opening it if I was worried. And I would just see what planet, the Road to Riches, specified. And I'd point at it. And if it doesn't say unexplored, then I've already been there. Or in your case, you've already been there and mapped it. So it needs to say unexplored. I don't know how that I selected that, that isn't what I wanted, but that's all you have to do. It just takes a lot of time. See, I don't know if I've actually been here. Yeah. See how it says unexplored? But it said this is the water world that of interest, and I've mapped it. That's why I just didn't map the other stuff, so it doesn't say, and it didn't scan them either. I found that I was, I'd get into a system and I'd do my job. I'd map the planet of interest both ways, but then I would start scanning around, and then go ahead and map the complete system remotely, not surface map it. And it was taking too much time for the money. You don't get that much money off of those other items. So you can hop to a system, and if the destination's not too far from the star, you can get it scanned and mapped in 5-7 minutes or so. And some systems much faster than that, some systems longer. And once you get used to the probes and stuff, so it's very helpful. This website I found to be really useful. And if you look at the chart though, in the second or third column, it says name. That's the system. Oh, sorry, the system name with the planetary count. That's the third planet from the primary or from the rival star. And of course, the nomenclature, like in this third line down, it says Ross 990A1. What that means is the system is Ross 990. The first object is A, and 1 is orbiting A. Now, usually I found if it says A, then there's more than one star. But if there's only one star, it won't say A. So if it says like B4, like further down here, you'll have to jump to it. You'll notice you'll not jump, but you'll arrive at the arrival point's probably A. You'll have to travel over to the B star, and then you'll notice that the distances start getting longer. But that's all there is to it. But just remember that as you complete each system, to check this box. That way, if you go to dinner or something, come back, you'll know where you left off. And if you close this window and regenerate this list with different values over here, you may or may not have the same items. So one thing I got in the habit of doing was downloading the CSV file. That way, if for some reason the web browser was closed or anything, I would have the the systems, and I could pull them up in Excel or Open Office or something and continue on, except it didn't have the automatic copy to clipboard, which is really handy. And don't forget the shortcut key to paste, Control V. And that being said, I will not map a bunch of systems in this video. I'll map some later in a later stream, but I'm going to get rid of this. I want to go back to Elite and go back to the galaxy map. Now, I found out that very quickly the nearby systems that I was around, I was mapping, and the list again would have a lot of duplicates. And it doesn't take a lot of time to hop to a system and go to the system map and see that it doesn't say unexplored there. And that way I know that it's or if it doesn't say unexplored, then you've already mapped it, and then you can just go to the next one. But it's frustrating when you have a list of 50 and you have 10 systems that you've already completed. So what I did, especially with my last run, excuse me, I well, I'm trying to remember. I went way out here. I went way out here. Found 2 stars that were, some distance apart, and it would use those for the origin and the destination, or the source or origin. One thing I wanted to show you on the website, though, it's really cool. I can find it. The window again. Like if you say show route, it'll show you how it's doing, where you're going to be traveling to. And since I'm starting and ending at the same place, you can see that it'll jump you around in a sphere. So every time you redo that list, it's going to redo it from the same group of stars. So that's why you end up getting duplicates. But if you specify a destination, say like Canopus, then have it recalculate. And we show the route this time. You can see it's not quite spherical. And to even clean that up even a little more, if you change this radius down to like 50 light years, it's much more of a cylindrical area that you'll be doing. You couldn't find enough stars to generate a complete list in that area, so you can play with those values and see. But doing it this way, though, you can change your starting points. You know, like you could start here again, then you go this direction or something. That way you don't get duplicates. So that's what I did. And I just went off in different directions each time I generated a map and cut way, way down on the duplicate stars. And that's it. I assume, I'm assuming that if you're watching this video and you're interested in mapping, you already know how to use the scanner, the Galaxy Map, but you might not have known about the Road to Riches website, and it's very, very helpful. Now, one thing you could do is generate a huge list, and you only have to make about $320 million to reach elite status, and every one of these systems is $1 million essentially if you scan them both ways, the primary. And sometimes on the list you'll get 2 planets in the same system. That's really helpful. So that's it. That's about all I got to say on it. So I'm going to upload this to YouTube. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me either on Twitch or on YouTube. My Twitch is Bacardi-san. My YouTube is also Bacardi-san. So feel free to contact me either way. And if you enjoyed this, feel free to follow me or subscribe to me on YouTube. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos. As I learn, hopefully I can make things, show you what I've learned. I watch a lot of videos, and that's how I learned. And I also have a lot of people have come in on my stream and answered a lot of questions. Because if you're new to this game, it's far more to this game than just simply flying your ship. It's a lot of fun, though. That being said, I hope you found some of this information useful. And well, see you again. Take care.